what's up? It's Richie here with Statifying Football. This is championship weekend for college football. There's 2 conference title games on Friday and the rest on Saturday, and one postponed game from earlier. Let's start with the Friday game, the CUSA Championship. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers and UTSA Roadrunners. Western Kentucky finished 8-4. They destroyed Marshall 53-21. Bailey Zappi 328, 4 touchdowns. David Davis 3 catches, 105, 2 touchdowns. Had a kick return for a touchdown. Defensively had 4 sacks and a pick 6. Bailey Zappi is on a tear this year. He could break Joe Burrow's record for most touchdown passes in a season. He's got 52 so far. He needs 8 to tie, 9 to break in. He's got 2 games left for that. UTSA coming in at 11-1. They actually lost their last game. They got killed by North Texas 45-23. 3 quarterbacks combined to be 12 of 27 and 161, a touchdown. They had 3 turnovers in that game. Earlier this year, UTSA beat Western Kentucky, but UTSA, the past 3 games, they've been floundering against pretty decent competition, except for Southern Miss. I think Western Kentucky, with that offense, are going to get some revenge, and I think Western Kentucky will be the CUSA champions. Then the Pac-12 chance, a rematch of 2 weeks ago, Utah and Oregon. Utah went 9-3. They beat Colorado 28-13. Cam Rising 179, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Tavian Thomas ran for 142 and a touchdown. TJ Pledger ran for 103. Defensively only held Colorado to 148 yards, had 4 sacks. Nephi Sewell had 10 tackles and a tackle for loss. Oregon, they beat their rival Oregon State. They finished 10-2, beat them 38-29. Anthony Brown, 275 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 83 rushing yards and a touchdown. Devin Williams, 6 catches, 110 and a touchdown. They had 506 total yards. Now, 2 weeks ago, Utah destroyed Oregon. I actually think Oregon's going to get some revenge back. They're embarrassed. It'll be a lot closer game, and I think Oregon will actually come on top and be the Pac-12 champions. All right, going into Saturday, you got the Big 12 champions. You got the Baylor Bears and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Baylor finished 10-2. They were just able to get past Texas Tech 27-24. Blake Shapen filled in for Gary Bohannon, 254 passing, 2 touchdowns. Abram Smith ran for 117 and a touchdown. Treston Ebner, 4 catches, 118 and a touchdown. Oklahoma State went 11-1. They beat Oklahoma 37-33 in a fun game. Spencer Sanders was kind of off though. 214, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, plus 93 rushing yards and a touchdown. They had a kick return for a touchdown. They turned over 3 times. They can't do that against Baylor. Their defense did have 6 sacks. Malcolm Rodriguez, 11 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and a pass defense. Devin Harper, 10 tackles, 1 sack, and a tackle for loss. I actually think if Gary Bohannon plays for Baylor, I think Baylor will win. If he doesn't, I think Oklahoma State will win. Both defenses are good. Both offenses are pretty good. But Spencer Sanders, he's extremely inconsistent. And both running backs for both teams, 1,000-yard rushers, Jalen Warren for Oklahoma State, Abram Smith for Baylor. But I think, I kind of think Baylor might have a chance, might win even if Bohannon doesn't play. And if he does, I think they will win. All right, the MAC championship game, Northern Illinois and Kent State. This probably could be a pretty high-scoring game. Northern Illinois, they went 8-4. Their last game, they got killed by Western Michigan, but they were resting Rocky Lombardi and a lot of their starters. That was 42-21. Jay Ducker ran for 104. C.J. Brown, 14 tackles. Javon Bird, 10 tackles as a pass defense. I'm not putting too much stock into that. Kent State, they finished 75. They won an awesome shootout game in overtime against Miami of Ohio. They won 48-47. Miami of Ohio scored a touchdown in overtime, went for 2 to win the game and did not get it. Dustin Crum passed for 325, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and ran for 1. Xavier Williams ran for 168 and 2 touchdowns. Marquez Cooper ran for 126 and a touchdown. Keyshawn Abrams, 7 catches, 138 and a touchdown. They had 642 yards of offense and 10 tackles from Nico Bolden. Like I said, this is going to be kind of a high-scoring game, but I'm actually going to go. Northern Illinois has been the cream of the crop in the MAC pretty much all season long, but for some reason I got Kent State. I feel like their offense will be a little too much. I'm going to get Kent State winning a high-scoring game in the end. All right, the Mountain West Championship, Utah State Aggies and the San Diego State Aztecs. This is a strength on strength. Utah State is one of the best offenses, scoring offense, passing offenses in the country. San Diego State is one of the best scoring and total defenses in the country. Utah State went 9-3. They beat New Mexico 35-10. Logan Bonner 312, 5 touchdowns. Derek Wright 4 catches, 115, 2 touchdowns. Justin Rice 10 tackles. Nick Henninger 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. San Diego State was able to get past Boise State 27-16. Jordan Berkshire came in, passed for 192 and a touchdown. Jesse Matthews, 9 catches, 133 and a touchdown. Defensively, they forced 3 turnovers, 4 sacks, with Joda Tavai getting 3 of them. This is going to be a close game going back and forth. As much as I love offense, I might give the edge to San Diego State. I think Greg Bell, their running back, he'll keep Utah State's offense off the field. That San Diego State defense is still really good. I think San Diego State will win a very close game there. All right, then the Sun Belt title game, Appalachian State and Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. App State, they played earlier this year and ULL destroyed them, but the ULL coach is going to the Gators. I'm not sure if he's going to coach in this game. I assume he will. But App State, they finished 10-2. They beat Georgia Southern 27-3. Chase Bryce, 235, 2 touchdowns. Thomas Hennigan, 3 catches, 111 and a touchdown. They had a kick return for a touchdown. Defensively, only allowed 194 and 4 sacks in that game. ULL, they got a close win against their rival ULM, 21-16. Levi Lewis, 163 passing, 20 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Cam Pettiscall had 10 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. I think it's going to be a little bit of a flip from what happened earlier. Louisiana Lafayette destroyed them. Appalachian State's been getting better. Louisiana Lafayette's been kind of going slowly down a little bit. They still 11-1, still a strong team. I think App State, they're embarrassed from last time. They want revenge. It's going to be a lot closer. But actually, I'm going to go with Appalachian State getting the victory and becoming Sun Belt champs. All right. Then you got the SEC Championship. You got Georgia 12-0 coming against Alabama 11-1. Georgia, they did whatever they wanted against Georgia Tech 45-0. Stetson Bennett 255, 4 touchdowns. Brock Bowers 3 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. They only allowed 166 total yards. Bama, they should have lost to Auburn. They won in 4 overtimes, 24-22. Bryce Young 317 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. John Mechie 13 catches, 150 yards. They did have 11 penalties. They have to clean that up against Georgia. Defensively, they only allowed 159 total yards, and they had 6 sacks in that game. This is Georgia's favorite at 6.5. I think Alabama is going to win. Georgia, they've had an all-time great defense, but anytime they face kind of anybody with a decent defense, there's a few chinks in their armor. Not a lot, but Alabama is by far the best offense they face this year. While Georgia's offense is solid, it's strong, it's not unbelievable. It's not Alabama's offense. It's not Ohio State's offense. You know, it's not. It's fine. I think this is gonna be close. I think Alabama though does win like 24-21, something like that. I think Georgia will lose this game in the SEC Championship. All right, then you got the AAC Championship. Houston Cougars and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati undefeated, trying to get into that college football playoff. They beat UConn 45-17, or Cincy, my bad. They beat ECU 35-13. Desmond Ridder, 301, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks though. Alec Pierce, 8 catches, 136 and a touchdown. They had 3 turnovers. Now it hasn't hurt them over the last 5 games, but they've been turning it over a lot. They turn over at least like 2 to 4 times, pretty much in every game. Now, like I said, they still been getting away with it. Houston, excuse me, it's the kind of offense and the kind of team that will make them pay. I thought SMU would. I definitely think Houston will. Cincinnati, I feel like it's gonna bite them at some point. I don't know if it'll be this game. Cincinnati, they also had a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. Joel Dublanco, 10 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 1.5 tackles for loss. Houston, they beat UConn 45-17. Clayton Tune, 301, 4 touchdowns. Jake Herslow, 5 catches, 111 and a touchdown. Jeremy Singleton, 5 catches, 100 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 7 sacks in that game. That could be a difference. They're one of the top sacking teams in the country. They could get after Desmond Ridder. They do have a pretty good running back in Jerome Ford and some decent weapons outside Cincinnati I'm talking about. But I don't know. I have a feeling that Cincinnati's on big upset alert here. I keep going against Cincinnati, and it doesn't matter. They'll turn over 5 times and win by 30. So I'm going to say Cincy wins, but I would not be surprised. Cincy is favored by 10.5. I think if they win, it'll be by a lot less than that. All right, then the Big Ten championship game, Michigan and Iowa. Iowa 10-2. They got in by the skin of their teeth. They were able to get past Nebraska 28-21. Spencer Petras was terrible, 7-14, 102. Alex Padilla was worse, 6-14, 76 yards. Tyler Goodson's a really good running back, 156 rushing yards. They had a block punt return touchdown and a safety. Jack Campbell had 16 tackles and a tackle for loss. Seth Benson, 10 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Michigan finally got the monkey off the back. They beat Ohio State 42-27. Hassan Haskins ran for 169 and 5 touchdowns. Defensively, they had 4 sacks, with 3 of them by Aiden Hutchinson. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Iowa's defense and Michigan's defense are really, really good. Both have 2 really good running backs. The edge, I say, goes to Cade McNamara, the quarterback from Michigan. He's very solid, if not good, whereas Iowa has been pretty terrible all season long at quarterback, and I think that's the difference. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think that will be the difference. Cade McNamara will make some plays in the air and allow Michigan to win and maybe sneak into the playoffs. All right, the ACC championship game, Pitt Panthers and Wake Forest Deacons. I can't wait for this one. The over-under is 72.5. I think this is going to be really high scoring. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Kenny Pickett at Pittsburgh and Sam Hartman at Wake Forest. Pittsburgh finished 10-2. They beat Syracuse 31-14. Kenny Pickett 209, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Defensively had 5 sacks. Wake Forest, they destroyed Boston College 41-10. Sam Hartman 236, 3 touchdowns, a pick, plus 51 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. They held Boston College 182 yards and 3 turnovers. Unfortunately, I'm actually kind of going to root for Wake Forest in this, but Pitt does have a pretty good defensive line. They can get after it. Wake Forest, they showed against Clemson a couple of weeks ago what a good defensive line can do. They kind of stymied that offense there at Wake Forest. I think that happens again, and I think Pittsburgh comes out and wins the ACC championship game. But this should be a track meet. Should be a lot of fun to watch. If Sam Hartman's down on the ground, he'll be throwing touchdowns, running for touchdowns, whatever. But I got Pitt winning that game. And the makeup game, USC Trojans and the Cal Golden Bears. A few weeks ago, there was a COVID outbreak for Cal, and they postponed that game. Unfortunately, neither one can get to a bowl game, but this is just for pride and a not crosstown rival, but a rivalry game. USC, though, they lost late to BYU 35-31. Jackson Dart 248, a touchdown, plus 28 rushing yards and a touchdown. They did run for 210 yards as a team. Cal got killed by UCLA 42-14. Chase Garbers 125, 2 interceptions, ran for 20 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Scott had 12 tackles and a pass defense. I think it's going to be USC. USC is still a pretty strong team. They have Lincoln Riley going there next year. I think they're going to make a huge turnaround next year. They have a good offense. I think USC wins that game. Cal's favorite before. I don't see that. I think USC wins that game pretty big. So those are my conference championship picks for the final kind of weekend of college football. Check out my bowl game picks later on. I'll make them all. Check out my NFL picks too. Check out all my videos.